Hello, everyone. Well, now, listen closely. There's a rhythm to life, like a drumbeat deep in your chest, steady and strong. And conversation, oh, child, conversation is one of the sweetest songs we know. It's not just words strung together, no. It's a dance of souls, a meeting of minds, a reaching across the silence to say, I see you, I hear you, I'm here. Now I know. Sometimes it's hard to speak up. You walk into a room and your heart thumps like thunder. You wonder, what do I say? What if I sound foolish? But let me tell you, sugar, the world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be present. It needs your courage. It needs your voice. There are 7 ways, yes, 7 little keys that can open up even the hardest heart. 7 soft knocks on the door of another person's world, and each one starts with grace. First, smile, a real one, the kind that reaches your eyes and says, you matter. A smile is sunlight in a storm. It tells a stranger, you're safe here. Well, now, before a single word leaves your lips, you've already begun the conversation. That's the truth most folks forget. We think connection starts with clever lines or smooth talk, but oh no, it begins far before that. It starts with something so simple, so quiet, so powerful. A smile. And not just any smile, baby. I mean a real one. The kind that stretches across your face like sunrise over tired land. The kind that makes someone feel seen, feel safe, feel welcomed before a single syllable ever slips into the space between you. You see, a smile isn't just a curl of lips. It's a signal, a message that says, I am here in peace. I am open. I come with light, not shadow. When you smile with sincerity, people don't just look at you, they feel you. You offer them a small piece of grace. And Lord knows this world could use more grace. We've all been that person, haven't we? Walking into a room, nerves tapping at our spine, eyes scanning for a friendly face. You don't need a speech in that moment. You need someone, anyone, to soften the air around you. And often, it's just one smile that does it. One kind expression freely given that says, come on in. You belong. Now let me say this, it's not about being fake. Oh no, the world has enough masks and mirrors. What we're after is genuine warmth, that kind of goodness that lives in the soul and shines through the eyes. A forced smile, one pasted on out of habit or fear, doesn't carry the same power. Folks can feel the difference. But when you smile because you want to, because you care to, because you choose to meet another human where they are, that's when you're speaking love without saying a word. And don't you underestimate what that can do. You may never know whose day you change with just that simple gesture. Maybe they were carrying sorrow like a stone. Maybe they were questioning their worth. Maybe they hadn't felt seen in a very long time. And then you smiled. You, a stranger, looked at them like they mattered. And in that quiet moment, something heavy inside them shifted. It's easy to walk through the world with your guard up. We've all been bruised a little, but you've got to understand. Everyone else has too. We're all out here trying to find our way, trying to feel okay, trying to hold on to whatever hope we can carry. So when you meet people with light instead of fear, you invite them to drop their armor. You make room for something real. And yes, sometimes folks won't smile back. Sometimes they'll be too wrapped up in their own shadows to receive it. But that's not your burden. You give your light anyway. Because light is not wasted just because it's not returned. It still shines. It still warms. It still blesses. That smile of yours, that's your first word, your first handshake, your first offering. It's your way of saying, I see you, and I greet you with kindness. And kindness, that's never small, that's never weak, that's holy work, sugar. So when you're out there, thinking about how to start that conversation, how to reach across that unfamiliar space. Start with your face, start with your eyes, start with your smile. Let it be real, let it be warm, let it be your first language, because once that smile opens the door, child, the words will find their way. Now that your smile has opened the door, the next step, well, that's where the magic deepens. Because once you've welcomed someone with warmth, the next move is to ask. Not just speak, not just fill silence, but truly ask. Ask with heart, not habit. You see, questions are powerful things. They are invitations, open hands stretched out saying, tell me who you are. Let me know what stirs in you. A shallow question can pass the time, sure, but a real question, one born of honest curiosity, that's where connection begins to bloom. Far too often we ask out of routine, how are you? What do you do? Where are you from? Now, there's nothing wrong with those words on their own, but when they're asked without real listening behind them, they become dust. Empty, just noise. And baby, we got enough noise in this world already. But when you lean in and ask like you mean it, oh, now we're talking. A real question is like a key unlocking something tender in the other person. It's your way of saying, I'm not just passing time here. I care about your answer. I want to know your world. Let your questions come from a place of wonder, not from a script. Ask, what made you smile today? Ask, what's something that's been on your heart lately? Ask, what's a dream you've tucked away for too long? These aren't fancy words, they're real. And real gets remembered. When someone feels truly asked, not just spoken to, but invited, they begin to let their guard down. That's when the walls drop and the truth starts to pour out like water through a crack. Because deep down, every soul wants to be understood. Every heart is aching to be known. We are not here just to exchange pleasantries. We are here to reach each other. But you've got to be willing to go first, to be bold enough to ask something that matters, to go a little deeper, and know it won't always land. Some people won't be ready to open up. Some folks might give you a short answer and move along, and that's all right, because asking with heart isn't about control. It's about offering presence. And when you do it often enough with patience, with sincerity, you'll find that most people do want to open up. They're just waiting on someone brave enough to knock gently on the door. And that someone sweet thing could be you. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't fuss over sounding wise or clever. Let your questions be simple, honest, and kind. That's more than enough. Because when your heart is in the asking, the other person feels it. And that feeling is what matters most. This isn't about strategy, it's about soul. About showing up for each other in a world that's often too busy to notice. When you ask someone a real question, you're not just starting a conversation. You're planting a seed of trust, a seed of care. And if you water it with attention and kindness, it just might grow into something beautiful. So after you smile, and I mean truly smile, don't let the moment drift away. Ask something gentle, something honest. Something that says, I'm here for more than surface. I'm here for the truth of you. And whether they answer with a whisper or a waterfall, you hold space. Because that, my dear, is the kind of conversation the world needs more of. And when you've smiled with real warmth, when you've asked with a heart wide open, there comes a moment, the most important moment of all, when you stop speaking and simply listen, not with your ears alone, no, not halfway, not distracted, but fully, deeply, like the person in front of you is the only voice in the world, and their words are water to thirsty ground. Because when you truly listen, you are saying, you matter, your story matters, and I am here to witness it. Listening, real listening, is a rare gift. Most people don't receive it, not often. We live in a loud world. Everybody's trying to be heard, trying to be seen, trying to shout above the noise, but very few are truly heard. And that's what you have the power to give if you're willing to be still and receive. Now, don't confuse listening with waiting your turn to talk. That's not it. That's just silence in disguise. Real listening isn't about what you'll say next. It's about what they are saying now. It's about hearing not just the words, but the meaning beneath them. It's tuning in to the tremble in a voice, the pause between sentences, the ache wrapped up in a sigh. Sometimes people don't know how much they need to be heard until someone listens that way. With attention like sunlight, steady and soft. You can see them unfold right in front of you like petals to the morning, because when someone finally feels heard, they feel valued, they feel real. And my goodness, isn't that what we all want? But you've got to be present to catch it. That means putting down your phone. That means looking into their eyes. That means letting go of rehearsed replies and stepping into the wild honesty of the moment. Don't rush to fix, to respond, to advise. Just listen, just be, and you'll learn something too. When you quiet your voice, you start to hear the deeper rhythms of humanity. The fears we all carry, the hopes we all nurture, the same small sacred desires that live in every chest, belonging, love, understanding. You don't need to have the perfect response. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all, just a nod, just an open face, just a presence that says, I'm not here to judge you, I'm here to know you. That kind of listening is healing. It's holy. It turns ordinary conversations into sacred ground. And the more you practice it, the more you begin to notice how much people open up when they feel safe, when they feel seen. It doesn't take a fancy vocabulary or a silver tongue to have a meaningful conversation. It takes a willing heart and quiet attention. When you listen like their story is gold, people feel it in their bones. They remember it. They trust you more. And trust, darling, that's the root of all connection. Now, this doesn't mean you always understand everything being said. That's all right. Listening isn't always about agreement. It's about respect. It's about holding space for another person's experience, even when it's different from your own. So when the time comes, when the question has been asked and the answer starts to unfold, lean in. Not just with your body, but with your soul. Let them speak. Let them be messy, unsure, even silent for a while. Because your listening says, take your time. I'm not going anywhere. And when you listen like that, something changes, not just in them, but in you. You learn compassion. You learn empathy. You learn the deep, quiet strength it takes to hold space for another human being. So after you've smiled like you mean it, after you've asked with real heart, remember this: speak less and listen more. Not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is simply, I'm here, go ahead. Now, once you've smiled with grace, asked with real curiosity, and listened like their words were sacred, there's something else waiting in that quiet space between you. It's the thread, that invisible line that weaves its way through your story and theirs. And if you're still enough, gentle enough, open enough, you can find it. Because no matter how different we may seem, different faces, voices, lives, paths, there's always something shared, something human, something soft and real and known. That, my dear, is the common thread. And finding it, well, that's where connection becomes communion. We are all walking around carrying pieces of the same fabric. Joy, heartbreak, laughter, fear, wonder, longing. We all hold them, maybe in different shapes, maybe at different times, but still the same cloth. The moment you discover that piece of sameness between you and another, the conversation begins to shift. It opens up, it deepens. It becomes less about strangers and more about kindred souls. You might be talking to someone twice your age or half. You might not look like them, live like them, or vote like them. Doesn't matter. Beneath all that, there's a place where your hearts hum the same tune. You just have to listen for it. It might be music, it might be a memory, it might be a scar or a silly joy or a quiet hope you didn't expect to share. Maybe they say something and it stirs something in you. You love that book, so do I. You lost someone too, you miss your hometown. Lord, I know that feeling. Those moments aren't small, they are the threads. And when you find one, don't tug too hard, just hold it gently. Let it guide the rhythm of the conversation. Let it remind you both that you are not as different as you thought. You don't have to agree on everything to connect. That's a myth we've been sold. Real conversation, meaningful conversation, isn't built on sameness. It's built on shared understanding. On those moments when you say, I felt that too, and suddenly the space between you is smaller. And when you speak from that space, people feel it. Your words land softer, your voice carries more truth, because now you're not just talking, you're meeting. Meeting in the heart, meeting in the story, meeting in the real. But to find that thread, you've got to be present. You've got to be willing to look past the surface and into the soul. That means not rushing to respond. That means not jumping to conclusions. That means sitting with someone's words long enough to see where they brush up against your own. And when you find that thread, honor it. Don't make it about you, make it about us. Use it to build a bridge, not to stand on a soapbox. Say, tell me more about that. Say, that reminds me of something too. Let your connection grow not from performance, but from presence. We all want to be found in someone